Good morning, Vicki. I'm here with Alex and Kylie Larson. They used to be in homeschool. They are out of school now, but they were in homeschool, and so I'm going to talk with them about their experience with homeschooling. So, Alex, my first question for you is, what was your homeschooling experience like?
It was super exciting, and there's really nothing that I would have wanted to do differently. We learned so much and had a great experience.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about the different learning styles that you had.
We have more of a laid-back approach on some of our school studies, and then other things we really went hardcore on, like human anatomy or math and everything. It just depends on your own family's learning style.
Yeah, I know, Kylie, you had some difficulties with some of the classes that you wanted to take that you couldn't take during homeschooling, so tell me a little bit about that.
I was interested in more hands-on things and things like welding and wood shop, and most people don't have a full wood shop available to them in their garage or whatever, and so having being able to go to the public school and I guess duly enrolled at the public school was a great option for me. Alex took art classes at the school. Some kids will take other courses as well. I took some other courses, but the main reason I went to the public school was for some of those other opportunities, because you're a little bit limited in your resources as to what you have available based on your family's financial situation, things like that. But there's still a lot of different areas that you can go into with different things, even just being homeschooled. So
Yeah,
what were some of the things that you felt like you had an advantage over public schools? And I know before we had talked about there were certain like field trip type of things that you guys got to do that you can't necessarily take a whole class of 30 students to do.
we actually did. For example, 1 week we spent in Fort Michilimackinac in Mackinac City, and we actually were able to do working on our home economics, Michigan history, everything, and that was something that we could do personally because we had part of our classes going on with it in the summer. So some students would be able to do that, but we were able to incorporate it with our school, with our vacation, and in our summertime. So fun things like that.
And then in the wintertime, you also have flexibility in your schedule. So we did some stuff in the summer, so you kind of can vary your schedule as need be. So if you have family that comes up in the fall or something like that, you can, if they're coming up for like the color tour or whatever, you can spend time with them rather than being like, oh, I'm stuck in class, I can't spend time with you. But you still make up that time doing your schoolwork elsewhere. So it's not like, oh, they don't ever go to school. They still go to school. They get all their stuff done. So,
What are some of the misconceptions that people have about homeschooling that you just find laughable that are not true?
that you're unsocialized. You get a lot of people that are like, oh, how do you socialize with people? Well, we actually talk to a lot of people, and not just in your own age group. It's younger kids, older adults, elderly people. You get a whole wide range that you're able to talk to people.
Yeah, that you have no friends. That's a big one.
Oh, that
you have no friends.
Pajamas all day.
Yeah, pajamas all day.
We never get up early.
Yeah, that we always
wear.
wear suspenders. Yep, and have like weird glasses.
That's an interesting one. We've also heard, do you have a library in your basement?
Yeah.
Like an actual library, like you have to like swipe
check out your books,
cards and
No.
stuff. We have lots of books, but we don't have a library.
And some homeschoolers, they are shy, but there's some public schoolers that are shy too. So it depends.
It's all strictly on your personality and what
Exactly.
you were made with, your character, things like that. So
Definitely true.
there's some of that. What's another one?
Yeah, some of the things we often, as homeschoolers, we like going online, and we actually find different like sites and stuff that joke about homeschoolers, and oh my word, we just get a big kick out of it, because being a homeschooler, you see some of these funny things, and you're like, yeah, we did watch reruns of Little House on the Prairie growing up, and we love them, and like fun things like that that other public schoolers may not have seen, because different schedules and time, they may not have seen reruns of Little House on the Prairie or whatever, but
that you read.
Yeah.
One of the things is that you read like these really weird abstract books. No, we read a lot of the same books that you read. It's
Classics,
not. We don't
Jane
all
Eyre.
read comic books, and we don't all read the classics. I mean, I read a few of them, only the required ones. I'm not a big classic reader person. So.
And whereas I am. That's why homeschooling school, because it caters to your individual style. Like each person is unique. You each have your own learning ability. You each have your own style. So your parents really just adjust it to what you need. It's awesome.
Great. Well, Kylie, Alex, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I hope that we busted a lot of myths that people had. I for sure have some of my myths busted about it. I've done a story about homeschooling. We're going to be airing that shortly. I've also had an interview with their parents, and they had a lot of really interesting things to say about homeschooling their kids. So I'm going to send it back to you, Vicki.
All right. Thank you very much, Sarah. Thanks for joining us again so early in the morning.